From Doraemon to Digimon, anime nerds like a lot of things, but there's something they love above all else, and that is correcting people. This is, actually. Joining us today on a very special all-anime episode, we have Orion D. Black.
Hey, everybody.
We have Kendra Wells.
Hello.
And we have Eli Yudin.
Greetings.
Well, greetings to all three of you. Thank you for coming on this episode to correct me about all the things I'm going to get wrong about anime, because this is actually. If you're not familiar with how this show works, I have here a stack of statements. These are incorrect statements, in this case, about anime. It's up to these fine contestants to find what's wrong, buzz in, and correct me. All their corrections must be preceded with the phrase, actually, and Jeopardy style. If they don't say it, I won't give them the point. And you can interrupt me whenever you want. If you spot what's wrong, you don't need to wait for me to finish. Get your buzzers ready. Here's our first one. Paprika is a 2006 animated film that takes place in a future where a machine called a passive device can be used to view people's dreams. Dr. Atsuko Chiba, aka Paprika, uses the device illegally to help psychiatric patients. Orion has buzzed in.
It's not illegal. Actually. I don't believe that it's, I think that's a part of her job, but she does stuff on the side.
It's certainly against company policy. It hasn't been approved yet, so that's not the answer we're looking for. Kendra.
Actually, she doesn't use it to help psychiatric patients.
There's at least one patient that she's, sort of helped.
Okay.
Again, it's sort of like, can you call that helping?
Officially,
the official line for the company is yes.
She's just going in people's dreams and just rooting around in there.
Yeah. What's this? Oh, this is fucking cool. Can I take this with me? Eli, you have not buzzed in.
I was waiting for the perfect moment. It feels like it's like, what is the thing that's incorrect about an acid trip you once had? Yeah. I don't know, dude. I barely remember that thing.
Everything and nothing, baby.
You said the refrigerator would lead the rebellion, and it wasn't the refrigerator.
I'm going to say, actually, it's not called a passive device.
That is correct. It's not called a passive device. A passive device is a thing that exists somewhere in sci-fi media. Can you tell me either what it's called in Paprika or what a passive device is from?
In Paprika, it's called the Dream Reaver.
No, that's totally fine. Just wanted to see if you knew. So in Paprika, it's called a DC Mini. The passive device is from Inception. It's a different dream machine entirely, a different machine that you use to jump into people's dreams.
Inception took a lot of stuff from Paprika, like one-to-one as an homage. Like the hallway scene where the detective starts running and then the floor gets all milty. Paprika went, hey, acid trip at 100%, and in America we were like, 55.
Yeah. The way they write the sort of rambling is like, I find it like it tickles my brain in a very specific way where it's like, this does sound like it's a real sentence, but if you actually look at the pieces, it makes you can't fit them together in any real way.
It's like the kind of thing where it's like when you're zoning out just a little bit and you're not really picking up on what someone's saying, and then you're like, well, hold on. Are you?
Yeah, I kind of like the experience of like watching a TV show while falling asleep, where it's like I'm picking up half the things and I'm making it make sense in my brain because my brain is like, there's something here. But like, if you actually take a step back, it's like, no.
Describing a dream to someone after you've had it, and you're just like, yeah. And then the refrigerator was there, but like, it wasn't my refrigerator, and there was knives everywhere. But then the president came, and it's like, I don't care. I don't know what you're saying to me. This doesn't mean the same thing to me.
Eli will take that point. We'll move on to our next statement. Some characters in Hunter x Hunter have some pretty incredible powers. Basho can make anything he writes come true as long as he can write it as a haiku. Frollo can create fish made of bone that will consume a person as long as the victim is in a sealed room. And Welfin's Missile Man power manifests as a missile launcher that fires centipedes at those who lie to him. Orion has buzzed in.
It doesn't fire centipedes, it fires missiles that when it hits you, centipedes enter your body. That's probably like Oh, and I did not say actually.
Your correction was a little too specific for me. I think it's
Oh.
still true to say they turn into centipedes, or fire centipedes, rather.
I watched all of Hunter x Hunter, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this.
Oh, this is great because I have never seen it at all. So it's nice to know I'm on an
playing the
equal playing
scenes.
field.
It's good.
My head,
Let's check it out.
Kendra, you buzzed in.
Actually, Basho's writing only comes true if it's a limerick.
That's not true, but you found what's wrong. You found the thing that is wrong. There's something. There's an extra restriction on Basha's powers. Either Orion or Eli, if you can be more specific, you can take the point from Kendra. Otherwise, Kendra will take this one.
I would feel bad because I would also be guessing, and then I would somehow stumble to the point.
No, do it.
So
Come on.
you're
hit me.
nobly bowing out.
I don't remember what the restriction on his power was.
both bowing out. That's fine. Kendra, you'll take that point. What I was looking
Incredible.
for, it's not enough that Basho write it as a haiku. It specifically has to be a good haiku. There's a weird subjective element to it where it won't work if it's a shitty haiku, which is like. What? Where, does he get notes?
Hey,
does he get anything back from this? Or is it just it's like, nope, the powers would be like, Basho, that fucking sucked, dude. You're not getting anything out of that one.
It's, this is just manifesting at work. You have to get good at your craft or else you're never going to get anything done. That's just art.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point, We'll move on to our next statement here. In Galaxy Express 39, Tetsuro Hoshino rides the titular space train toward planet Prometheum in hopes of acquiring a mechanical body and effective immortality. At the penultimate stop, the planet of Bats, Tetsuro meets a young man who also wishes for a mechanical body, which he believes will give him the endurance he needs to become a great athlete. A lot of shaking heads. Kendra's buzzing in.
Actually, this anime doesn't exist, and you just made that up right now.
This anime does exist. It is about a space train traveling through space, that making stops at various planets along the way, and eventually reaching this sort of end point. Eli first, and then Orion.
Actually,
Yes.
if you had a mechanical body, it would be cheating. You wouldn't be able to compete in any event. You're a robot. You're not an athlete at all.
You've kind of found what's wrong in a roundabout way. Which
Really?
is that the person he meets on the planet of Bats does want a mechanical body, but it's not to become a great athlete. So I'll give you the point unless someone can tell me what he wants the mechanical body for. Yeah, go ahead.
It is for revenge.
Ooh,
He has to kill somebody.
a good guess and a good strategy. It's not revenge. Unfortunately, the answer you're looking for is that he wants a mechanical body so that he can become a great animator of fine anime films and TV shows.
Honestly, that's cute. I like that.
I was just going to say, on a general list of planets I want to go to, the planet of Bats is very far down.
It starts off kind of normal. It's like you're going to the moon, you're going to Mars, you're getting out of the solar system. And once you get out of the solar system, it's like, now we come to the planet where people are made of glass, but also clay. Or it's like the planet where dreams come true, but only the bad ones. And they're these kind of long and very conceptual planets.
Like the resting warriors on Titan, the great bandits, Shadow of the planet of indecision, the Comet
Planet of
Library,
Indecision.
the graveyard at the bottom of gravity, Trader's Junction.
All of these are just the names of hardcore metal bands.
Yeah, totally.
Sound like pretty good albums.
The graveyard at the bottom of gravity is the most metal thing I've ever heard in my life.
Absolutely, yeah.
I can see them now. They're from Finland. They're all albino, have 4 foot long hair. Great albums.
Eli, you riff your way into that one. This will bring us to our next statement, which is a fan-submitted question. This comes to us from one of our viewers. This question is from Colby. In Dr. Stone, a mysterious flash of light turns almost the entire population of Earth into stone. After 3,700 years, teen genius Senku Ishigami reverts back to flesh and blood as a result of bat droppings falling on his statued form. While others might have been driven mad, Senku kept his mind active for centuries by thinking about unsolved scientific mysteries. Orion has buzzed in.
Actually, he counts the entire time.
That's correct. That is the correct answer. He keeps his mind active by counting every second that passes for the entire 3,700 year span that he is stoned.
He pops out and he knows what day it is.
It is 116 billion seconds. Also feels like a bad way to keep your mind active. Like, that's like the definition of mind numbing. It's like, sit here and just count the seconds. Like, I could last maybe an hour before I was like, enough of this. I'm gonna think about literally anything else.
Sleep. I would just write musicals in my head and then go through the whole process of having like a very messy workup until the final night. And then everyone brings it together after that speech. And just do that like 50,000 times.
Well, that point goes to Orion, and we're going to go to our first shiny question of the game. Very first shiny question. Shiny questions, like shiny Pokemon, just a little bit different and a little bit rarer. This is a shiny question we're calling What's Wrong with This Picture? We have taken an image, some image from anime, and altered it. It's up to you to tell us what is wrong with it. Whoever can will get the point. Let's take a look at that image. Orion and Kendra are buzzing very quickly. Orion.
The cat bus has too many arms.
That is a good guess, but that is incorrect. Kendra.
The cat bus is missing his little testicles.
That is correct. The cat bus is missing his little testicles. Let's take a look at what that should look like. There it is. That's the original. We have removed the little testicles from the cat bus.
I'm proud of you, Kendra.
If this is my legacy, so be it. This is the one question that I knew immediately.
Where are his balls?
Something about like manga and anime artists love to draw balls on their cats. I don't know what it is. It's just very funny and I love it.
It's a tanuki thing, right? Isn't like that's my guess, which is like aren't they like raccoon spirits that are like extra lucky if they have massive balls?
Huge balls, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a Ghibli film, but there's another film where there's like an army of tanuki guys and they fight a bunch of cops by like parachuting in on their testicle skin and then using them like as a weapon, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Is that what Antifa is? That's
those are actually the Antifa super soldiers. Yeah,
I'm typing in as much description as she did, or as Kendra gave me.
You're gonna want to turn safe search off.
Just type in tanuki testicle paratrooper rule 34, and I'm sure it'll.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's their balls.
It has to be.
Imagine
if that wasn't what they were talking about. Like that's a different thing.
This is the other tanuki testicle.
Their face is very much. I feel like they're the correct emotion for if you were parachuting on your testicles. They don't seem like it rules.
Just
they're like,
ow, 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 ow. Yeah. I love that they took the time to put little tiny hairs on the scrotums. It's a very nice attention to detail. And I also have to admit, I would be terrified if I looked up in the sky and I saw this coming down at me. I'd have a lot of thoughts, but most of them would be in the general realm of I have to get out of here right now. Well, Kendra will take that point. 2 for Eli and Kendra, 1 for Orion. So pretty tight game so far. Here's our next one. In Ghost in the Shell, Major Motoko Kusunagi is a cyborg with a full body prosthesis. The only organic material left is her brain. She's a field commander of Section 9, an intelligence and security unit whose very existence is kept secret from the public. Kendra.
Actually, their existence is not kept secret from the public.
It is. That's not what we're looking for.
Damn.
Eli.
Actually, even her brain is gone. Isn't she just like a presence?
That's a really good guess, and it's pretty close to what we're going for. You found the right area, but that's wrong. That's not quite right. Orion.
Okay.
Yeah.
She has more than just her brain as organic matter. Actually.
That's more what I'm going for. It's not that it's all gone. Her brain is there, but there's more than just her brain. Can you be more specific?
I will just guess that it's her spine.
That's correct, yes. She has both her brain and her spine. That is the answer we're looking for.
Thanks, Adult Swim.
She was killed during Mortal Kombat, so all that exists of her is her head and spine.
It was actually, the fatality was the salvage mission, yeah. It was like, well...
Get her out of there. Quick, get this back to the lab. Just flap it around.
Just the grossest eject button of all time. Everyone's like, oh, oh, gross. Please don't do that.
God.
I just see the bottom of the spine going.
The eject button is such a crazy idea. Imagining that if things just go really wrong, it's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. Just like top of the head just blows off and like a brain and spine like just bounces away. That's a point for Orion. We will go ahead and we'll move on to our next statement here. Each episode of the Tatami Galaxy shows a different reality that would have existed depending on what campus group an unnamed Kyoto University student joins. In one episode, he joins the softball team and learns that the health food company that owns the team is secretly scamming their customers. In another, he joins the movie club and makes an expose about the club president's love doll. Eli.
Actually, the health food, it wasn't scamming people, it was making people into food.
So you found what's wrong. It's not true that they're turning people into food.
Yeah, that was way too normal for anime. I was like, it's not just a scam. That doesn't...
You're extremely right, Eli. I don't know what to tell you. It is. That's more normal than what the actual answer is. But Kendra, do you have an answer here?
Actually, the health food company is lying about their food in some way.
No, that's not it. Orion, you want to take a stab?
The meat. It's not meat. The meat's not meat.
No, that's not what we're looking for.
My other guess, if I just run down the list of things this is going to be in an anime,
Sure.
mind control is involved. The food is mind controlling people.
Another good guess. It's not quite right, but I'm going to give you the point anyway for identifying at least what was wrong here. The answer you're looking for is that the company is owned by an apocalyptic cult-like leader, and everyone in the company and the softball team is basically in a cult that believes the world is going to end imminently, and they've built an ark to survive the end days in a Noah's Ark kind of way. You know, typical softball stuff. It was Eli, you're totally right that it's like, oh, just scamming customers. That's too normal. Like it's like, yeah, it was a full apocalyptic cult. That's what it should have been.
Was it also was the health food thing real?
Yeah, so they were. It was like the health food.
I love that they're an apocalyptic cult. They're like, well, we do our business.
Honestly, it sounded fantastical at first, but this sounds extremely viable nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is just goop. This is goop in 5 years.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if like 5 years from now there's some news story about it's like Goop was up to some weird shit. Like I know like people made fun of it, but they have bunkers. There's Goop bunkers.
This is just an MLM. They're just selling essential oils on Facebook.
Cool. Well, Eli will nab that point for at least finding what's wrong there. We'll move on to our next statement. Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt is a show about two angels named Panty and Stocking who are kicked out of heaven. Panty can transform her underwear into guns, and Stocking can turn her stockings into a pair of katanas. They hope to use their lingerie-based weaponry to defeat enough ghosts to earn their way back into heaven. Kendra's buzzed in.
Actually, they aren't both angels?
That is correct. That is the answer we're looking for. It's revealed in the last episode that Panty has been a demon this whole time, and she kills Stocking and chops her into a million pieces, and that's like the end of the series.
I hate when that happens. If I had a nickel for every time my partner turned into a demon and killed me.
Thank you for including that genuine anime experience of having one deeply embarrassing show or something where you're like, yeah, I mean, they're named Panty and stuff. Look, it's like the fight scenes are cool. It's just like...
It's a really good studio that does the anime. Like, I know it sounds bad.
Are you familiar with Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt?
I remember seeing a bunch of it on Tumblr, and I was like, oh, this is cute. But I remember seeing demons involved, and I'm like, just using my big brain, putting two and two together.
I do feel like sometimes like anime is playing by different storytelling rules than we're used to, where it's just like angels kicked out of heaven can turn specifically their underwear into these specific weapons, and now we're off to the races. But that
Supernatural could never.
Yeah.
Supernatural's anime. It's just live action anime. I mean, look, it's
honestly,
two brothers obsessed with their like dead dad.
Car.
It's yeah.
And they
Car.
have a car as a character, and there's an angel who comes from heaven, and also it's like maybe gay, but not gay.
Yeah, there's
gay.
everyone has sexual tension all the time.
Yeah, everything on the CW is anime at this point.
Yes,
That's a very interesting
anime.
breakdown. Yeah.
yeah. My favorite thing, I have watched a shameful amount of Supernatural, and my favorite thing is like because it's the CW, everyone on the show is the most attractive person you have ever seen in your life, and if anyone is even average looking, you know they're a demon. Like just somebody who's like a 9 out of 10, and you're like they're some sort of creature. Like they're gonna turn
Look how
into a
evil
werewolf.
they must be evil. They're not the most beautiful person you've ever seen in your life.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that point will go to Kendra, and we'll move on to our second shiny question. Second shiny question of the game here. This is a game we call Needs More Pixels. In just a second, we're going to show you an iconic image from anime, but we have pixelated it beyond the point of recognition. First person who can tell us what this pixelated image is from will get the point. Now, if it's too hard for all of you, you can all pass and we can get one level clearer. Remember, you only get one guess in this game, so use it wisely. Let's take a look at this pixelated image. Kendra's immediately buzzed in. Kendra.
It's Evangelion. End of
Yes.
Evangelion.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
It's them. I can tell you what's happening. They're sitting on the beach. There's stuff in this red sea of stuff. It's iconic.
Yep, we're going to make it clear there. Just as you described, here it is.
How fast we got. Yeah.
Truly incredible. I love anytime anyone can get it on the first one, where it's just like I can see the shape and the madness. I don't think I've ever had anyone buzz in as quickly as you did. It's like not only can I see the shape and the madness, I'm like looking through it immediately.
I would like to thank Twitter memes. I would like to thank.
Well, immediately correct from Kendra. That is from End of Evangelion. Eli with 3, Kendra with 4, Orion with 2. Still pretty tight game. Kendra in the lead here. Here is our next statement. The Homunculi are major antagonists of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. These 7 entities are named after the 7 deadly sins, and while some may appear human, like greed and lust, others, like envy, have a more monstrous appearance. Eli's buzzed in.
I believe all of the homunculus, I think they have forms, but they do all have a human form, except for the original one, which is the, what's it called? Something in the jar. There's the original homunculus, which is kind of just like a black amorphous creature that is in a jar.
He didn't say I'm actually, so it doesn't matter what you say.
Oh, no. Okay. I'm actually a long tangent about Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, you just list everything you know about Full Metal Alchemist until you land on the thing that I'm looking for. Orion, you have an answer for us.
Actually, Envy has a human form. I don't know if you're going for... 'cause Envy has a monster form, but also a human form where they look like everybody else and can look like anybody.
So that's basically what Eli said. So this is probably just like an issue on my part with phrasing. There is something else wrong here. Yeah, I'm gonna say Eli, you'll get it unless Kendra can tell me what I'm going for here.
Actually, Greed is the one who has a monstrous form. Like he appears human, but his like spirit is demonic.
That's not what I'm going for either. I'm gonna give this to Eli because he said that first of the thing, so it sounds like I've screwed up 2 things here.
I mean, the other thing that I would guess is wrong is that there's 8 because there's the original.
That's what I'm going for, yeah. There's more than 7 because Father himself is a homunculus.
Father's form, when he turns into a human, he's just like a true daddy. He's like a super buff big man. He looks like buff Santa, like if Santa was super sexy, kind of.
What do you mean
sexy
if?
than Santa naturally.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Well, we will move on to our next statement here. One of Naruto's stranger characters is Condor, a ninja ostrich with 3 bow ties who has taught himself how to speak. He leads the 4 ninja animal warriors, whose other members include a kangaroo, a giant anteater, and a chimpanzee. Kendra.
Actually, if he's a ninja ostrich, it's stupid that his name would be Condor.
That is true that it would be stupid that would be his name, but that is in fact his name. He is a ninja ostrich named Condor.
I'm calling shenanigans again. This is bullshit.
You found the stupid thing in anime.
Eli.
I'm going to go with the classic anime strategy of one thing being too normal. I'm going to say it's not a chimpanzee. There's no chimpanzee. That's too human. It's probably like a big ant or something.
Eli, you did not say actually. And I'm
actually.
I'm going to stick to it here. You got to say actually. Orion, you buzzed in.
Actually. I won't say the same thing just for solidarity's sake.
Okay.
I will just say that that's an incorrect number of bow ties.
It is 3 bow ties. It is, in fact, 3 bow ties. Eli, yes, hello.
Hi, Mike. Actually.
Yes.
I do not think that a chimpanzee is included in this gang. Perhaps it is something else, maybe even a big ant.
Eli, you are correct. It is, the chimpanzee is too normal. It's not a chimpanzee. It is something else. I'll give you the point unless someone can tell me it's not a chimpanzee. What is it? And Kendra's buzzed in first, so I'll give you first stab.
Actually, I feel like the answer is going to be it's like cooler than those other animals. So I'm going to say actually he was a wolf.
Not a wolf. Good guess. Okay. Orion, you want to take a swing?
Actually, this is my theory. Those are all, I think, non-native to Japan animals. So I'm going to say that the last one is actually a bear.
Really good line of logic. I like that a lot. It's not correct, unfortunately. So Eli, against my best wishes, because you didn't say actually the first time, I am still going to give you this point. The answer is it's a second kangaroo. They had all the animals to choose from, and there are 2 kangaroos on the team.
Okay.
Think of the mental though. Like you just defeated the ninja kangaroo, and another ninja kangaroo walks out. You're like, oh my god,
like, god damn.
Yeah.
I'd also say that, like, arguably, it's maybe even more impressive that the ostrich taught itself how to speak than that it taught itself how to be a ninja.
He's sapient, he has cognitive thought, he's wearing 3 bow ties, and he's ready to party.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you've got a lot of things going on.
Is it because it's a long neck? It just looks silly if it's just the one?
That is correct. It is. Like, it's a long neck, so there's like a line of bow ties going down his neck.
He's like, well, it would look stupid if I just had one.
You also have to question going into battle with 3 spots to choke you just on your neck already. Just 3 things tied around your throat.
Yeah, fighting with a tie is just a bad idea. It's just a handle to grab onto. Well, this will bring us to our second to last question and our last shiny question of the game. This is a game we call Legal Limit. Anime theme songs, gosh, you know them, you love them. We'd love to play some for you, but unfortunately, our legal team would probably have an issue with that. So instead, we're only gonna play as much as we legally think we can get away with, which is about a half a second. So we have 6 half seconds of anime tracks here for you to identify. Whoever can identify the most will get the point. Let's take a listen to that first track. Eli.
Okay, this guess is based completely on the energy of this song. I do not know, but this is my guess based on the feel and the vibe I get from it. Is this That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime?
No, it is not That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Kendra.
I buzzed in, and I know what the anime looks like, and I realize now that I have no idea what the actual title is, so I'm going to guess something completely different. Is it The Melancholy of Haru? You know that one?
It is not, but I'm also loving getting all these titles because, like, even in my research, I'm now getting titles of things I've never even came across. So it's like, oh wow, great! No, it is not Reincarnated Slime. It is not The Trials of Haru. Orion, do you want to take a stab or you want to pass?
I'll take a stab. It does say Tsukio like twice in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tsukio no Kaiba.
Good guess. I love just like puzzling things together. No, it's not. This is from Urusei Yatsura. The song is Lum No Love Song. Don't worry, we got 5 more songs to listen to. So let's listen to the second one. What's number 2 here? Everyone buzzed in. It was Orion first, yeah.
That is Samurai Champloo's opening Battle Cry by Nujabes.
Yeah.
Indeed it is. That is Samurai Champloo. Let's take a listen to number 3 here. Kendra's buzzed in though. Kendra.
Full Metal Alchemist? It's not one of the Full Metal Alchemist.
It is not. No. Eli.
Is that one of the Soul Eater OPs?
It is not. No. Orion, do you want to take a stab or you want to pass?
A random anime. I'm gonna say it's Skate the Infinities.
It is not. No, this is one of the Death Note intros. This is Death Note.
It's hard too because some of these shows change their
they have multiple openings.
It's very true. I know.
Yeah, the Death Note one I think of is that like death metal one. That's just like
yeah. Well, let's take a listen to the next one.
The skip intro button is killing me.
Kendra.
Is it One Piece?
No, it's not.
That feels so vague.
Oh shit. I know it feels so close to something.
Let's play it one more time.
I'm gonna be mad when you say it.
I'm going to guess it is Seven Deadly Sins.
It is not. Nope. Eli, it's on to you. You want to take a stab or you want to pass?
That's not Soul Eater, right?
No.
Soul Eater until it's Soul Eater.
Eventually,
it's not Soul Eater. This is the song "The Day" from My Hero Academia.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's listen to the next one. Eli's buzzed in very quickly.
That is JoJo.
That is JoJo.
Part. Bloody Storm.
That is Bloody Stream
like
from JoJo. Eli will get that one. We got one more left. Orion is buzzed in.
Crap, I forgot the name right there. I know the words to this song.
Keep singing it. Maybe you'll get
Can you just sing the song?
Oh, okay. That is Code Geass.
Yes, it is. He got there eventually as this Code Geass.
Okay.
That is 2 for Orion, 1 for Eli. That means Orion is going to take this point. We go into our last statement here with, 5 for Eli, 4 for Kendra, 3 for Orion. Is still pretty tight. One last question here. Last question, as always, concerns real-life skills. Perhaps the best beef you'll find is Kobe beef. While true Kobe beef is very scarce in the US, Wagyu beef is much more available in part because meat from Wagyu Angus crossbreeds, aka Wangus, can still be sold in the US as Wagyu. The USDA specifies that a cow must be at least 46.9% genetically Wagyu in order for its meat to be sold under the name Wagyu in stores and restaurants. Orion is buzzing in.
I will say that they will not take 49%. I feel like it has to be like 51 plus.
That feels like it would make more sense, right? But no, that's not what we're looking for here.
I beefed it.
You beefed it. Hey, Kendra.
Actually, it is not crossed with an Angus.
So there are regular Wagyus, but there are Wagyu Angus crosses that are just sold.
Wangus?
They are called Wangus. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Wangus or Wangus. Like, I'm not sure if they're taking the goo.
That's embarrassing for the cow, man.
That's like moms dropping the cow off at school, and it's like, okay, have a good day at school, Wangus. It's like, don't let them know I'm actually named Wangus.
You are 49% Wangus. And you will be proud of it.
It does seem like a good name for a cow as an animal. To be like, that's a Wangus. I'd be like, yeah, sure. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, cow does look like a Wangus. Eli.
Actually, it's only called Wagyu in restaurants. I'm not even sure if you can buy Wagyu beef at a store.
That's really interesting. You're like, something you said and something Orion said, we're both like, you're kind of dancing around it, but not super close. I'm going to say no points for this one. The thing I said about the USDA specifications for whether you can call a Wangus a Wagyu or not, that is true for stores, but not true for restaurants. And in fact, there are no rules for restaurants. Restaurants can do whatever the fuck they want. They can call some crap-ass meat they got from a weird guy off the back of a truck. They can just call that Wagyu and no one can stop them. So part of the reason, Eli, you see Wagyu in restaurants a lot is because they're fucking lying. They can just say that's Wagyu. If you see Kobe beef on a menu, it is almost certainly not Kobe beef. I think there's only
only 3 cows in the world.
I think there's only 8 restaurants in the US that are like able to import Kobe beef.
Sure,
So
fine.
if you're not in like one of those 8 restaurants, you're probably not eating it. Our final score here, I think, is 5 for Eli, 4 for Kendra, 3 for Orion. And that makes Eli our winner for this episode. Congratulations, Eli. I want to thank all of you for coming to play with us this episode. We had a lot of fun, and I want to thank you for watching. Join us next time for even more pedantic corrections here on Actually.